Good morning, students. This is Padmavati Indargi, Assistant Professor of Management from Government First Grade College, Devanahalli. Today I am going to discuss on the topic Organization Development Interventions. This topic comes under the subject Organization, Change and Development. It's for 6th semester BBA. Let us understand what are organization interventions. Meaning is it's defined as a set of structured activities in which selected organizational units, target groups or individuals engage with the task with task goals are related to organization improvement. In simple, intervention means to interfere for the purpose of bringing some changes and making the organization to move towards improvement. It aims at improvement of the total system to ensure that the full potential of manager abilities is utilized for better organizational performance. Characteristics of OD interventions are: these are planned activities. Interventions, when are to be implemented, it should be planned in advance. What to, when to start, what to do, where to start, and at what level to be started. Means interventions are implemented at different levels, like at individual level, at the entire organizational level, or at the team level. Who are our target group? What to improve? Why this intervention is required? We need to answer for the questions, and then we need to start the intervention programs. OD interventions are decided mutually by client and a consultant. It is a joint collaboration work of both the client and a consultant. Client is the organization and consultant is the expert. He might be an outside consultant or he might be an internal consultant, like a manager in the organization. He may initiate the intervention or some other consultant agency appointed for bringing some interventions in the organization. Next is, it's a selection of appropriate intervention denotes careful diagnosis of current system of an organization. It means before implementing any program or any activity, we need to take into consideration the entire environment of an organization. It might be a structure, it might be the people of the organization, or it might be the resources of the organization. We need to take into the consideration the entire environment of the organization, its strengths and weakness before implementing any interventions. Application of intervention requires participation and involvement of a client system. It means when the intervention is to be implemented, when a consultant is appointed to undertake those implementations, the consultant should be provided support by the manager who is leading the team. Means the organization can't sit in silence when interventions are implemented. The organization should also support the consultant. It should provide the information required by the consultant, and also it should work along with the consultant to bring improvements in the organization. It focuses on social and task performance enhancement. It means interventions are concentrated on individual improvements, improving the social system in the organization, improving the culture, improving the entire social system in which the employees can experience a good and friendly working environment. Next is, the success of OD intervention depends on the knowledge and expertise. It requires the expertise, it requires the experience of the consultant who has handled such interventions in other organizations, so that he can implement those interventions without any interruptions in the organization. Levels of OD interventions. How these activities, at what levels these are implemented. Interventions are implemented at different levels. The levels are first at individual level. Here the main target group is the individuals or the employees of the organization. It concentrates how the individual can be improved, how his career opportunities can be built, how he can be motivated and can be made a part of the organization, how his skill can be built, and how the training can be given to the individuals to improve his performance. Next is team level. Here the team means it consists of a set of people who are from the same rank or from the same department working in a team for some projects. Here the interventions are aimed at developing the team strongly. Here the people in the team are made a part of a team. They are motivated to work in a team. They are motivated to understand the members of a team very effectively so that they can reach the projects or reach the targets efficiently. Next is intergroup level. Here in this intergroup level, as organization consists of different departments, in intergroup level, the managers of different departments are brought together, and any problems if they are facing between the departments, those problems are highlighted and given solutions that so that they can overcome those problems and can lead to an win-to-win situation in order to bring down the group indifferences. Next is organization level intervention. In this level of intervention, here the entire organization is undergoing changes. Here the extent of in which the entire organization is participating, or the interventions are aimed at the improvement of the entire organization. Here I am going to concentrate on the organization level interventions. What are the programs conducted under organization level interventions? Before moving to that, organization level interventions are further classified into comprehensive and structural interventions and social interventions. Comprehensive interventions. Comprehensive means the entire organization. It is the extent of the entire organization undergoing the intervention. The programs conducted under comprehensive interventions like Beckhart's confrontation meeting. It is one-day meeting of the entire management of an organization in which they take reading of the major problems, underlying causes, developing action plans and correcting the problems. Means under Beckhart's confrontation meeting is one of the intervention where the entire management of the organization meet at one place. They come out with the problems faced by the organization and they ask the management members to bring out, to chalk out the plans so that how the problems can be solved. That it involves the steps like climate setting, collecting of information, information sharing, priority setting and group action plan, immediate follow-up by top teams and progress review. Under comprehensive intervention, another intervention is stream analysis. This model was developed by Jerry Porras and it is valuable to understand change and managing change process thoroughly. Here, before implementing any change, he classifies the entire organization setting into 4 variables. That is, organizational arrangements that includes goals, strategies, systems, policies and procedures. It also takes into consideration technology that is further classified into tools, equipments, machineries, workflow design and technical systems. Third variable is social factors, includes culture, interaction, process, network attributes and informal patterns. Informal patterns means in organization we find 2 groups, that is formal and informal group. Before implementing any change, the intervention or the consultant will take into consideration what are the formal groups existing in the organization and who are the members of the informal groups and what are the patterns of communication between the groups. Next is physical setting. Before implementing any intervention, the consultant needs to take into consideration even the physical setting, which includes space, configuration, ambience and architectural design of the organization. Another model in comprehensive intervention is managerial grid model. This model entirely focuses on the style of functioning of the manager, what his style of functioning. It is proposed by Blake and Mountain. It is based on 2 assumptions about manager behavior and plotted on 9x9 grid, that is in form of this table. Like concern for one assumption is concern from production and another is concern for people. How much, to what extent the manager is motivated for production, that is for the task, and also how well he is motivating his employees and taking them into confidence towards improvement, towards improving their efficiency and also reaching the organization goals. It is assessed, the manager's style is assessed by a questionnaire to know where the manager fits in grid in his managing style. The major 5 dimensions in grid theory are impoverished management, that is 1 and 1. That is, he is least bothered about the task and also about the people emotions. He neither cares for the organizational objectives, not for the people values. Next comes task management. Task management means he is more concentrated on the task, on the objectives, on the targets, and less concentrated on the human values or the employees. Middle of the road management. His style of functioning is very moderate. He balances both, that is the task as well as the employees' behavior. In country club management, he is least bothered about the task and is more concentrated on the people emotions. He is very employee friendly. He motivates them. He is very friendly with them, but he least bothered about the organizational objectives. Next comes team management. Team management means here the manager's skill of functioning is very effective. He concentrates well on the task as well as on the people emotions. He knows how to balance and how he can take them into confidence for reaching the organization goals. If in the grid theory, we need to understand where the manager falls. If he is very inefficient in managing the people and the task, he need to be given training. He need to understand how to take work from the employees. He is put in an environment where he need to understand the employees, and also he need to take them into confidence so that he can improve his style of functioning. Next is structural interventions. These are the interventions which are aimed at improving the organizational effectiveness through bringing changes in task, through bringing changes in structure, and also in technology and goal process in the organization. The programs or the interventions are change in physical setting. This intervention involves setting of machinery to reduce physical fatigue to the worker and affording maximum physical convenience in doing the job. Here the importance is on the time and motion study. How much time the employee spends on getting the raw materials, how much time he takes to move to the machinery and put those raw materials into the machinery and take the work. Here his movements are studied, and it leads to bringing down those movements in order to improve his productivity, making the resources available to him without moving far, without involving more time in that. Example, we can tell about the layout in the banks. When a person enters into the banks, we can find various departments arranged sequentially. Where when he enters to the bank, there will be a enquiry counter where he can inquire what are the services he requires and where he need to approach. And thereafter, the various departments, like it might be a loan department or the deposit department, or it might be like a check depositing department or cashier, or it is organized very well so that the movement will be controlled, and also it leads to efficient working of the bank. Next, in structural intervention, another intervention is formalization. Here we need to study the extent to which policies, procedures, rules and regulations exist in the organization, and how the manager needs to balance between the policies and the codes in managing, and also allowing some flexibility. Here, if he becomes more formal and he wants always to follow the policies and procedures without being flexible towards the needs of the employees, then he can't bring out those creativity and innovation from the employees. But if he is very flexible and not rigid, he can motivate the employees to come out with their ideas for the improvement of the organization. Next is job redesign strategy. It involves structuring of job to satisfy the technical requirements of work and human requirements. Here both the balance we are doing, that is we are redesigning the job so that it meets the needs of the human. Here the human employee becomes very satisfied with the work, and also we are understanding the what technical requirements are required, what technical qualifications are required from the employees, and how the human can be fitted, how the employee can be fitted into the work, and how his satisfaction level can be enhanced. Another thing is job enrichment. It implies upgrading of the responsibility, scope and challenging in work. When an employee is very dynamic, he feels that his experience is not utilized in the organization, and he is having very high qualification. So we need to enrich the job. We need to add some more responsibility. We need to add some more role in order to make the job very challenging. It is a motivational technique making job more challenging and interesting. Another intervention is MBO, that is management by objective. It's a process of goal setting. Here in management by objective, it's a concept where the goals for the organization is set in first. Afterwards, the individual subordinate goals are set. Here, it integrates individual goals with the organization goals. This approach includes improved performance, effective communication, and participation, which enhance morale and job satisfaction. MBO concept believes that if people are involved in setting goals, here we take the people in confidence, we take the people in asking them suggestions so that they feel that they are the members of the organization, and it motivates them to work harder and perform better. Participation in goal setting allows managers to control and monitor performance by measuring performance and results as against the objectives. Next comes socio-technical interventions. It is related to interaction between people and technology at workplaces. First intervention in this is system analysis. It involves studying the environment, both internal and external, analyzing the socio-economic factors like standard of living, social demands, employees' aspirations, and aspiration of children, and the ability of individual to fulfill the same. Here we are concentrating on the social aspect so that the individual, when he enters the job, he feels that he has chosen the right organization, he is fit for that organization, and this organization is meant to achieve his personal aspirations, and also it motivates him to perform better in the organization. It focuses on recruitment system, reward system, appraisal system, and training and development. In socio-technical intervention, another program is job sharing. It involves job sharing facilities within the organization and also having tie-ups with other organizations for sharing job. Like in case of organization, it shares its research and development activities with other organizations for some fees. Here, it can reduce the investment on research and development, and it can take the service of other organizations. Another program is job evaluation. It means to assess the relative worth of the job for the purpose of establishing rational pay structure. Means what are the requirements for doing the job, what is the qualification required by the employee for performing the job. Depending upon that worth of the job, we can design the pay structure. It determines the qualification and skills required for performing the job. Thank you. Thank you for watching the video. In next videos, I'll come up with other interventions like individual interventions and group interventions. Thank you.